Set a delay between messages. Hide or put people in timeout. I like that. Daddy's gonna put you in timeout. Daddy's gonna spank you. Manage messages held for review. Add moderators to your channel. Who wants to be a mod? Who wants to be the first Young James mod? Hopefully I don't need mods. Everyone's been pretty cool for the most part, except that person that was spamming the fuck out of the chat last time. It was pissing me off. Waiting for people to file in. I don't have anything necessarily, serious to talk about in this video today. I just want to check in with the people as I've been busy lately. I've been meaning to do a live stream for quite some time now. Again, but just been real busy. So hopefully we can turn this into like a weekly thing. I say we as if there's anyone else responsible for doing the live streams except for me. But yeah, I'm trying to do this like more often because I don't know, just want to connect with the people, say what's up. I don't necessarily know what to do on stream other than just like respond to questions and shit, but here I am. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read your messages right now, but my computer is lagging like a bit. I really need a new computer, man. Don't have enough space for my shit on here. All right, here we are. Hey, what's up, villager? What's up, Tiki Man? What's up, dog? Cam from the 6863. What up, Adobe-chan? What does that mean? Sup from Nagano. Shout out to Nagano. That's somewhere that I have not been yet in Japan that I really, really want to visit, but haven't gotten out there yet. I would love to go to Nagano. Go do some skiing up there, some snowboarding. Sounds badass. It's pretty cool, bro. What up, Doom? Soprano-san. Which DAW does Young James make his music with? So, it sucks because sometimes it's hard to see the producer credits on like Spotify and stuff like that, but I never actually made beats. I tried my hardest to make beats a little bit, but I was so bad at it, so I figured I would just pay my friends. And I think most of my friends use, it's been so long since I've done music, I don't even remember the names of them. They use something with an A, right? Isn't there something with an A that's like a really popular one? Ableton. I think most of my friends used Ableton. But yeah, dude, I'm definitely not much of a musician, just like a little bit of a vocalist and lyricist, but not great at all. Why, we have some music makers in the chat? What are y'all saying? What do you guys use? Hi from Singapore. Shout out to Singapore, dude. I would love to visit it sometime. Sup from Atlanta. Blackula. I love the name. Blackula says, sup from Atlanta. Dude, I was in Kabukicho in the red light district area of Shinjuku just the other night with a couple of subscribers, and we were hanging out, and basically one of my subscribers, who's now a friend of mine, this guy named Tomek, he wanted to just practice like Japanese conversation, meeting Japanese people on the street, doing like nampa, kind of like street pickup and stuff like that. So I was like, man, let's do it. And so we went out, and then we met another guy named Logan who was super cool. And anyways, we're hanging out in Kabukicho, just like nampaing people, and there were these cute girls that walked past, and they started talking to them. And these girls, it was like 3 cute Japanese girls. I think they were like not high school, college students. And they said that they just came back from America for like a 6-month study abroad. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Where were you? And they were like, it was so scary. And I was like, where were you? And they were just like, kowakata, mecha kowakata. And I was like, where the fucking America were you that it was so scary? And they said Atlanta. And they also said it smelled like feces, because everything smells like weed in Atlanta. That's legit what they, I wish I was just making this up, but that's legit what they said. And yo, what up, Eternally Eugene? Yo, thank you so much, bro. I will have a coffee on you. I love coffee. I'm a crazy coffee drinker. Really appreciate that. Thank you, dude. But yeah, anyways, these Japanese girls were like, we just came back from a 6-month study abroad in Atlanta, and it was so dirty and scary, and it smelled bad. And I'm like, damn. I've been to Atlanta one time, and I actually had a lot of fun in Atlanta, but when people talk crap about America, it's difficult because my gut reaction is just to be like, no, America, like what? America's the best. Don't say that. But if you think about it critically, I mean, especially compared to Japan, it is dirty, it is dangerous, it's tough. So I definitely don't blame Japanese people for being scared of visiting America. You know what I'm saying? What up? The Noob Play 5537 goes, did you watch UFC 321? I don't remember. Was that the one today? Is that I'm assuming that was the one today. Yeah, I didn't watch all of it, but I watched the main card. It was alright. It was alright. Let's be honest. What a big, crazy letdown that was in the main event there. Honestly, I was surprised that Gon was touching up Tom as much as he was. I knew that Gon was going to have some success on the feet for sure, but it was almost like kind of one-sided on the feet, outside of a few leg kicks here and there from Tom Aspinall. I was really impressed with Gon's performance, though, and dude, I think they should run that back as quickly as possible. I already know John Jones is somewhere, though, just rubbing himself off, loving all of that, and talking about how Tom's a quitter, I'm sure. What up? Kita Senju. Shout out to this guy, Seth Aldrich, 6902. Shout out to Kita Senju, Adachiku, I believe, right? Isn't that the area that people say is like the hood? I've only been there one time, and actually it wasn't even that bad. People say like, oh, watch out for Sanya. People think Shinjuku is the real slum. People think Kabukicho is the real slum. But if the people that know, they know that it's Sanya. They know it's Adachiku, Kita Senju, Minami Senju. That's not true. I've been to that area many times. It's not scary at all. It's just kind of like maybe a little bit lower income, and occasionally see like a homeless OG-san walking around on the street or like being drunk. It's really not dangerous at all. I hate when people say that. Yeah, I saw the Aspinall fight, bro. Shout out to Germany. Albert Frey says, hi from Germany. What up? Guten Tag. Ich liebe dich. That's my German for the day, guys. Ich liebe dich. That means I love you. If you guys didn't know. Yeah, I'm a polyglot. Is that what they call it? I'm a polyglot. I speak many different languages. Te amo. I love you in Spanish. Aishiteru. I love you in Japanese. I love you. I love you in English. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome. The high school allegations never going away. You guys are silly. I'm trying to keep up with the chats, guys. Thank you for everyone for joining. Let's see. James, can you do a skate vlog again? Dude, that's a great idea, and I do have the skateboard that I haven't rode more than like 3 times here in Tokyo. But the thing is, it's so difficult to find. So I should have known. It's so difficult to find somewhere to ride your skateboard in Tokyo. Like everywhere you ride it, even if there's not a sign that says like skateboard dokinshi, like no skateboarding here, still you get yelled at. Still someone says, oh, you can't skate here. It's crazy. I don't know where to skate. And I even asked my buddy, I was like, where can you skate here? And he's like, really nowhere. And I was like, so then what do you do? And he's like, you just do it anyways, or you do it at night when people won't be there. You can't even skateboard on most of the street. Just like the streets here, even if it's like a residential street, you can't even skateboard here because the alleys are super, super narrow, and they don't have sidewalks. For most of the like residential streets in Japan, they don't have sidewalks. It's just, it'll be like someone's house, the door, like 1 foot, no sidewalk or anything, and then the street. So if people walk out of the door, if people turn the corner, the streets are really small. You don't know who's coming around. It's dangerous to skateboard on the streets here, so you might hit somebody. So they don't like that. It's actually hilarious because even there is this basically like viral video, like bad happening, trouble, incident video page that I follow for Japan on Twitter that posts like crimes in Japan. Like it would be your equivalent of like World Star for the US, but it's the Japan page, and it's hilarious. Maybe Tokyo page. It's hilarious because like the videos that come up on there is like, these foreigners left food on their plates in Shinjuku last night, and they posted a video laughing while they're at this izakaya, walking away while there's still rice in their bowls. And then there's like hundreds of comments of people saying like, how dare they do that? And then anyways, there was a video just the other day of like, this guy is skateboarding through residential streets. Somebody find him and arrest him. And then you compare that with like America's version, which is World Star, and there's just like 50 people fighting at Chuck E. Cheese, kids crying, like kids are trying to play skee ball and stuff, and then like there's a parent taking the skee ball and smashing another parent over the head with it. This guy goes, good for Japanese people to have new Japanese prime minister. She is solid. I don't know too much about her, but okay. Cool. That's an opinion. I don't know too much about her, man. I don't really follow it super closely, but cool. There's a big skate park in Yokohama, this dude says. There's skate parks. Yeah, there are skate parks, but like, come on, man. I'm a street. Come on, you guys should know I'm from the streets. I don't go to skate parks, man. I grew up in the streets. I grew up in the mud. I'm not a skate park boy. I'm the type of dude that's ollieing down the 5-stair outside of the church and getting yelled at, grinding the handrail outside of the elementary school and getting yelled at. I don't do skate parks, man. I wasn't raised like y'all. I was raised in the mud. Get a longboard and skate in the countryside. I love how people just like say these things as if like it's just so easy. Like I've got my longboard here. Like I'm a full-time student. I do this, do that. Like I have all these responsibilities. Like, dude, just go skating in the countryside, bro. Yeah, let me just take like a 3-hour trip out to the countryside really quick just to go skating and then come back. Hey man, big fan of your vids. I was wondering, what's your monthly budget like in Tokyo? David Nerfs. What up, David Nerfs? Thanks for sending me a message and watching the channel. My monthly budget is somewhere around like $1,000. It probably somewhere around, like including rent, I would say somewhere between like $900 to $1,300 a month here in Japan. Probably somewhere like that. I'm not saying that's perfect, but if I just had to guess, somewhere around $1,200 a month maybe. But you guys got to remember, I'm a student, so I'm paying for tuition. School tuition's expensive. I'm also trying to live as frugally as possible so I don't go broke while paying for this tuition. This guy goes, what's the deal with the Toyoku kids, by the way? Toyoku kids are, I mean, I don't know too much, man. I'm not an expert, but as far as I know, it's a group of like runaway kids / homeless people who hang out in the Kabukicho, the red light district area of Shinjuku. And you know, it's really, really sad. I don't think it's something that people should be making a spectacle of and taking videos of and stuff like that, because these people are really, really, really troubled. And, you know, I've talked to them before, and there are some nice people, definitely, but they get into a lot of trouble. And you know, why do they get into this trouble? Why do they run away from home in the first place? Because they have super, super difficult home lives and a lot of trauma to deal with. So I feel really, really bad for them, actually. And I think a lot of foreigners come out here and they just want to like go meet them and like take pictures of them and see what's going on. It's not really like a spectacle like that. It's just actually a lot of really sad people who end up doing a lot of harm to themselves and others. 7TZ, what up, James? What up, 7TZ? Diego Razzetti says, are you in Japan now? I am in Japan now, that's correct. This video, I believe, even says that I'm in Shinjuku. What's the deal with, this guy goes, when's the reacting to our music part 2 stream coming? Dang, this dude's an OG if you remember that stream. That had to be well over a year ago at this point, right? Wait, maybe not. Maybe that was like about a year ago. That's a good idea. Do you guys want to do that? I don't know if there's enough people to send in music, but that would be fun to do that again, reacting to people's music. I actually feel bad because I had a friend who sent me his music for that stream. I hadn't heard his music before. I didn't even know he was making music, and he was really excited to send his music in. But I told him, like, dude, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I have to keep it real for the people, because then there's no point of watching it if I'm just gonna be like nice to everybody. I'm gonna be honest if I don't like the music, and I don't think I was too harsh or anything, but I told him, or I said on the stream, like, yeah, it's really not my thing, whatever, like, it's interesting, though, like, whatever. And then dude, like, never hit me up again, so, no, fuck it. I'll definitely do some more reactions to music, though. That was pretty fun. James, you in a dungeon right now? No, it's dark, but it's my apartment, y'all. I'm just not trying to show too much of my apartment. I'm trying to keep it dark because, I'm not the tidiest gentleman in the world. I gotta clean my apartment right now, so I don't want everyone seeing and judging me. Don't judge me. Waffle House. OMG Cat just says Waffle House. Don't know why they just said Waffle House, but I agree. I love Waffle House. Is this in response to me talking about like America's World Star Hip Hop and people are just like fighting at Chuck E. Cheese? Because yeah, when you go to Waffle House, you might see a fight as well. I would agree if that's what he's saying. Do you work out in your apartment or just the gym? I go to the gym. I go to an MMA gym. MMA, martial arts, kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu gym. Unfortunately, there aren't many weights there. There's actually only one set of weights, so it sucks because if somebody else is using them, and also people in Japan don't like to just like work in with each other and trade off on the weights. I've asked people to do that before and they don't want to do it. So if someone else is using those weights, you just have to like wait around, stretch, find something else to do while someone's using those weights. Sometimes you have an hour set aside for the day where you're going to go to the gym or you're going to work out, and then you walk in and somebody else is using them at a time that people aren't even using those, usually aren't using those weights. And then you just got to sit there and wait, and sometimes they take 45 minutes to finish up their workout. It sucks. But I'd rather be doing that than paying so much money to go to like an Anytime Fitness or a Gold's Gym that has all these rules, and it's like hella expensive and even not even that good of a gym in the first place anyways. Out the Mud. A new Out the Mud is dropping in just a couple days, guys. I think maybe 2 days from now, the next Out the Mud will be dropping. Thank you, Sunstep. Hey, this is my boy James right here. What up, James? Americans are flaking about Japan's politics, projecting for sure. Honestly, I haven't been following it too much, but I'm sure, you know, it's funny because when I'm not in the States, I always am like, dude, I miss the States. I want to go back to the States. But when I am in the States, I'm like, man, like everyone's talking about politics, everyone's fighting all the time. This sucks. But part of me at the moment, it kind of does miss like hearing about politics more. Isn't that twisted? That's not right. Hey, bro, chill. My girl's on this app. You mad? Don't let her see this. This guy goes, it would be awesome if you could be trained as a cook in Japan. That's why I asked if you worked in restaurants. I did work in restaurants. I worked in a ramen restaurant, and I worked in another restaurant in the kitchen. I mean, I guess I was trained as a cook in a sense, but not like an official chef or anything like that. But, you know, as a wage slave, nearly like $10 an hour wage slave, yeah, I was trained as a cook. Hi, James. I have a question. Did you ever spend time out of Tokyo in Japan? If yes, how different was it from Tokyo? Says Saga64. I would say outside of Tokyo, it is very different. Even if you go 1 hour outside of Tokyo, you can totally notice a vibe shift. You'll notice it on the train. If you're just going out to Fujisawa, just on the Odakyusen from Shinjuku, it takes like 45 minutes to get kind of outside of the general Tokyo area. You'll notice it in how much people speak on the train. In Tokyo, at least, unless it's like a weekend late at night, people are not talking on the train. People are very, very, very quiet. But as soon as you get out of Tokyo, you'll notice people are talking on the train. People are more relaxed. And you go to Kyoto, you go to Osaka, you go to Nagoya, you will notice that immediately. And you don't even need to go that far to notice it. It really is, I do believe it is so true that people in Tokyo are a different breed. It is very, very robotic and very sometimes seeming cold here in Tokyo, definitely. James music freak off party? What are you talking about? Is it true that Donald was gonna why did you say Donald? Donald, like Donald Trump, like my boy. Is it true that Donald is gonna pardon Diddy? I saw that somewhere on Twitter. I don't know if that was true or that was just some made up headline that I saw, but that would be wild, wouldn't it? If he does, dude, I'm totally gonna attend a freak off party. Yo, if you're into cars, could you do a car meet vlog? That would be dope. Dude, I'm not into cars at all. I don't know anything about cars, but I definitely know that they do car meetups here in Japan. Definitely a lot of people in the Discord, and another guy I met recently, Brad, they're super, super into car meetups and shit like that. And I believe they have them in like Chiba and Yokohama. I believe there's like a big car meetup as well. I don't really know too much about it, man. What are you studying in school? I'm studying business, bruh. And do you intend to stay in Japan after graduating? Yes, I do. I plan to hopefully look for work and work for at least a few years here in Japan after I finish school. I'll be finishing school real soon though. Waffles are better than pancakes. Meh, kind of depends on my mood. Waffles are great sometimes, pancakes are great at other times. I will say though, the Japanese fluffy pancakes, those jiggly pancakes, jiggle back and forth, and they always have like viral reels on Instagram and TikTok talking about Japanese pancakes. I think those are overrated, honestly. They look like a lot of things. The food, the women, in Japan, a lot of things look cuter than they actually work. They look cute, but they don't actually function great. The food, a lot of times they care way more about the presentation and the looks of the food than how it actually tastes. That's just my opinion. That's probably my Western tastes. And, same thing for the women as well. A lot of the women out here look incredible. They look so beautiful, but once you get to know them, they're playing all types of games. You don't know what's going on inside there. But just in general, I think that's a real rule to follow, that Japan cares a lot about presentation and a lot about looks, for sure. And less so maybe about actually the content. At times. A gym with one set of weights. Yes, that's correct. There's only one set of weights at my gym. Are there any other countries that you would want to visit after your time in Japan? Yeah, dude, I want to travel everywhere. I would be happy to go to literally any country ever. Like anywhere. I'll go to Russia. I'll go to China. I would even go to Britain. Yeah. Oh, some fish and chips, mate. We'll come down to the pub and eat some fish and chips. I would even do that. I don't really, wouldn't be the first place on my list, but I would even go to Ireland, Britain, all over there, man. Damn, how much does your gym cost monthly? My gym cost is like $50 a month, or maybe a little bit less, maybe more like $40. Not too much, but there's mat space and you can attend classes and stuff like that. Does Japan need a Western style gym? I mean, there are some Western style gyms, but they're very expensive in here. You got to realize space is very, very expensive. Japan's a small country. There are a lot of people. And even though it's a small country, not that much, like, most of the country is mountains. So not even, I don't even remember, like, what percentage it is, but a very small percentage of the entire country is actually inhabitable. So space is very expensive here, and maybe that's why they haven't made a Western style gym. And also, it's definitely like a classic thing where the Westerners just assume this is good in my country, therefore it's good everywhere. You assume that by a Western style gym, like, oh, it's just automatically so much better in the States. So if I brought a Western style gym to Japan, it would just get so popular and everyone would love it. Yeah, like Japanese people really don't care about lifting these big weights and this wild gym with all types of different machines. In my experience, Japanese people just want to do push-ups, pull-ups. They don't really care about getting big. They want to do a lot of cardio. And I would guess that's why there's not any, or not many, big Western gyms here in Tokyo. Or probably in Japan at all. How long have you been in Japan? I've been in Japan for 3.5 years. Why don't you settle in Japan? I love Japan. Japan's incredible. I'm happy to be here. It's fun while I'm young like this, but I don't find that it fits my personality for a long-term life or for raising kids or a family. Presentation equals face culture. Next year, I'll start my new job near Himeji as a kaigai eigyo, overseas sales representative. How do you have any tips to prepare for working in a Japanese workplace environment? That's a great question, Alessandro. Yeah, I would say listen and look and watch and analyze how other people act more than you speak, more than you ask questions. And if you're coming from the West, that's going to be difficult because not only does it actually help you to ask people questions, but also it looks good. If you're being eager to ask questions and talk and communicate all the time, it looks good. Not so much, in my experience, in the Japanese workplace. In the Japanese workplace, if you're asking questions constantly, communicating constantly, people think there's something wrong. They think that you don't have the ability to read the air. You're too dumb to look around, just see what other people are doing and learn from that. You need it actually explained to you. So that's something that I would say. That is my one tip for working in a Japanese workplace. Ask less questions, spend more time observing others, trying to read the air. And sometimes you look stupid when you do ask questions or when you do communicate explicitly or overtly. It was weird for me. I don't find Asian features attractive at all. My trip to Japan was completely neutral and without any attraction at all. First time. Cool. Hey, man. Everyone's got preferences, dog. Hi, James. Do you visit onsen sento? Yes, I do. Often. I would say like at least once a week. Probably about once a week I go to the onsen or the sento or a sauna. Highly recommend. I love the onsen, sento, sauna, bath culture. And yes, you have to get completely naked. You can't enter the hot bath in Japan with your skivvies on. You gotta get your wiener all the way out. W Stream Jimmy, I love you. What up, Russian friend 7080? I love you too, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm reading the chat from 4 hours ago. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get to everyone. That's why I'm behind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm probably not gonna catch up, but I'm definitely behind. How's the Japanesecore scene these days? I would say that it's dying for sure, but they still do listen to easycore. If you guys don't know what easycore is, it's like basically a style of punk rock music. They still do listen to easycore here more than a lot of the world, especially more than America. I would say most pop punk bands here are still playing breakdowns, which is really interesting. Japan tends to be late to trends. You guys got to remember, this is an island country here. They're relatively secluded from the rest of the world and the trends maybe in American pop culture, so they tend to be a little bit late. maybe 10 years or so. You should visit Korea for a small trip. It's cheap to fly there, and it'll make good content talking about your experience and comparisons. That's true. However, the comparisons from living somewhere and visiting somewhere are also very, very different. So I'm not sure how much I would be able to understand unless I actually lived there, or how much, you know, even with my experience living in Japan, living in Asia for 3.5 years now, I'm sure I would go to Korea and I would think one thing, but people would be like, yeah, that's not really true. You actually have to live here to really, really understand it. But yeah, that definitely would be interesting regardless. So, dude, you got to remember I'm a broke student. I don't have like any money. And when I make money from the YouTube and all of this, sometimes like people think like I'm rich, or like I'm balling out. I've got like whatever, like 30,000 followers on Instagram and almost 30,000 followers on YouTube and all this. And I'm so happy. I'm really, really so happy. Thanks to everyone for supporting me. I'm so happy that I have enough money to support myself so I don't have to work a part-time job here. But you got to remember, I'm paying for school tuition out here, so I have no money. Like, I have no money to just be flying to other countries and stuff and like really, really balling out while I'm here. Just enough money to like go home for Christmas and things like that. But I mean, once I start working, dude, yeah, without a doubt, I'm going to be visiting all these countries around here. Korea, Thailand. Don't ask why I want to go to Thailand. Vietnam, China, all those places. Hey, bro, it's me, who you met on college. What up, brother? Hey, this is my homie. No get at get. Yes. This is my homie that I always see in the lunchroom. What up, dog? Will become a consultant to help foreigners set up business in Japan. Yeah, I'm down for that. I mean, that sounds like a decent gig, something I might be able to help with. I feel like it's definitely very hard for people from America and other countries in the West to understand Japanese culture and how Japanese people communicate. Even if they do speak Japanese or the Japanese people speak English, it is still difficult to understand the culture gap. And that's something that I think I understand, not perfectly, but better than most people, even the people living here in Japan. I appreciate you taking your time with the chat, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you, dog. Sorry I'm missing people, but I'm trying my best to get to everybody. This person says Sakura Onsen is in Sugumo for the win. Okay. Yeah, I should check that out. Sakura Onsen. I think I've heard of that before. Tyreed says, what's your favorite anime? My favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. If you guys know Hunter x Hunter, you know what's up. Hunter x Hunter is fire. I cried multiple times watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm not much of an anime guy. I've only probably seen like 5 or 6. But I love Hunter x Hunter. I love Parasite. I love Berserk. Yeah, I like dark stuff. I like fighting and, man stuff. Fighting, killing, stuff like that. LeBron's Gone says, James, any recommendations for protein powder in Japan? Yeah, what's it called? Not Savas. Savas is overrated and expensive. You guys got to go to Donki. If you guys want to buy good protein powder, there are a few places that have better selections than Don Quixote. Don Quixote has actually a decent selection of protein powder, and you can get things for pretty cheap there. There's also an app called iHerb, I-H-E-R-B, where you can order all types of protein powders and stuff like that, but then you got to pay for shipping as well. I would recommend Donki. Go to Donki and buy just the biggest bag. There's I think it's like a 3-kilo bag of whey protein concentrate. That's the one that I always get. That's what I recommend. Don't be buying like the already pre-made shakes from 7-Eleven all the time, the Savas ones. Those are expensive and they don't even taste that good, let's be honest. Are you doing any investing or trading in the stock market at all? I'm not. That's something that I probably should get into though, right? But I just don't even know where to start. I'm just kind of focused on other things right now. This guy goes, 100% right. I worked with plenty of sushi chefs from Japan. They don't enjoy explaining things. They want you to watch and learn. Yes, that's totally something that I have known. In Japan, that's the biggest difference in the work culture that I've noticed. Because in America, they want you to be confident. They want you to be the guy asking questions, talking to everyone, communicating all the time. In Japan, if you're communicating all the time, asking for things to be explained to you, they look at you like you're stupid. They look at you like you can't read the air. Yo, this guy 7TZ goes, hey James, I came across your channel recently and have loved the content you put out. What advice would you have for someone else trying to pursue language school for Japanese? I mean, that's a really broad question, man. I have so much advice. If you are trying to come to Japan for language school, I don't have anything to say other than try your best, take advantage of it. You only have 2 years in language school to actually study the language. You can only stay for 2 years maximum. I believe that if it's a government regulation, you can only stay for 2 years on a language school visa. So take advantage of your time because you only have that one opportunity. A lot of kids went to my language school with me. They first got to Japan while they were in language school, and then they dicked around for 2 whole years, realized they didn't pay attention in class. Those 2 years were up, and now they're like, man, now I actually am trying to get a job in Japan, trying to make friends, maybe trying to date, and I don't speak the language at all because I didn't pay attention in language school, but I can't go back to language school because my 2-year visa for language school is up. I can't go back anymore. Take advantage of it if you have the opportunity and study hard. You will thank yourself later. How does getting a job with lower than N5 Japanese level work, so no Japanese at all? Is learning the job hard because language barrier? I'll put it like this. If you don't speak any Japanese at all, you can get jobs here, but for the most part, they're going to be English teaching jobs, or I mean, you can get jobs at foreign companies here with zero Japanese, nothing at all. You can get jobs. It's rare though, and if you are looking for a job that is requiring you to speak Japanese, N5 isn't enough, N4 isn't enough, N3 isn't enough, N2 or N1. Your Japanese needs to be really good. You can't be like, yeah, I can introduce myself and say like, I like chocolate, I went to Disneyland one time. That's not enough Japanese. You need to be able to actually talk to people if you plan to use Japanese at your workplace. And that's a grind. That's going to take like 2, 3, 4 years of studying. I have too many twos to go to the onsen. Ooh, yeah, that's tough. Definitely a lot of onsen, though, these days do allow you, even if you do have tattoos. One would be Takasago. Takasago no Yu. It's in Nakanoku. It is a tattoo okay onsen. Hi, James. I'm in Osaka. Oh, sorry. I missed your comment. I don't know where it went. This dude goes, we need a PSA next time you do one of those listening to fans music videos. I got some heat. I did do a PSA. I thought I did. Well, next time I do, yeah, I got you on another PSA for sure. That would be fun to do. So more about the consulting thing. Help people find jobs that are not teaching jobs. Once again, I'd love to learn how to cook Japanese food professionally. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going to be available to me, but once I graduate from school and start looking for work, yeah, man, I'll let you know when I know more about the situation. I definitely do not plan on working at a Japanese company. Lopez Siesta says, are you planning on working at a Japanese company, international company? Definitely international company. I don't think you could pay me enough to work at a If it comes down to that and my only options are Japanese companies, I think I'd just go back to the States. Like, seriously. James, does your school offer some kind of career fair for you to go through the company interviews and attempt to join some ote kigyo, how do you say this? Ote, daite, I don't remember. Kigyo to get feel for corporate Japan. Yes, they do, of course. I believe most schools do that. Are you playing any sports at the campus? I am thinking of joining sports club. I'm not on campus very often, man. I just try to get in and get out. I do not enjoy school. I try to spend all of my time doing the YouTube and trying to make money. Because like I said, I am broke and I'm trying to go home for Christmas. Wicked City and Ninja Scroll Anime. Don't know what that means. I'm assuming these are names of anime. Yo, in your opinion, after how much time in Japan do you start to really get into the culture and I suppose understand the culture and the ins and outs? Now, this depends on just what you do in Japan. I would say for me it was about 2.5 years because for the first 2 years, most of my time was spent at language school surrounded by other foreigners. After those 2 years were up, I started trying to actually get into Japan, meaning like I worked at some Japanese jobs or with Japanese people at Japanese companies, did stuff like that, and that's when I felt like I was really in it. And you know, part of me got in there, realized the water was too hot, and I jumped back a little bit. I'm not super involved in Japanese jobs and stuff like that anymore. But I still have a lot of Japanese friends and stuff that I try to see as often as possible. But the culture is very different, man. The culture is very different. Even if you have studied Japanese a lot, you've studied the culture, and then you come out here, I promise you, I think you will be surprised, no matter how much you study, how different it is and how difficult it is to adjust. Whoa, we got two big, what do you call these? Super chats, two big donations, or one. One big donation. What up? Thank you. User 6253. Thank you so much, man. What up, dog? What up, TJ? See you tomorrow. Hey, what up? See you, bro. I'm stoked. Talking business with my boy here. TJ. Consider it a contribution to your ticket back home for Christmas. Man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, dude. Looking forward to meeting you as well. We're going to be talking business in Tokyo. If you guys want to meet up with me, we'll talk about it. Shoot me an email, guys, youngjamesYT@gmail.com. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Kiroi Inu says, why did you choose Japan? Sorry if you already answered this question. Don't need to apologize, bro. I can't expect you to know everything that I've ever said on my channel. Basically, I always wanted to go abroad, live abroad, attempt to do something crazy like that since I was born. Like, always wanted to do something wild, make a huge move, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. But signs just kept pointing to Japan. I had some Japanese friends that I met in the States. My older brother loves Japan, so he really wanted to travel abroad, and he invited me to travel abroad to Japan with him just one time. I didn't know anything about Japan at the time, so I went to Japan, made some more friends in Japan. Now I have Japanese friends in the States. I have Japanese friends in Japan. Then this band that I was working for at the time, I used to, do a lot of rock music, touring, stuff like that. I was working with my friend's band. They're called Belmont. They had a Japan tour lined up back in 2020. I was still working with them. I was doing merch, occasionally driving in their van and such, stuff like that. They had a Japan tour, and I was like, wow, I've been to Japan before. I have some Japanese friends. I studied a little bit of the language for the first time that I went there to visit. I'm going to go with them as well once again, and I'm going to study Japanese super hard for this tour. Long story short, studied for a couple months on my own. Didn't really get very far, and then Corona happened, tour got canceled. I'd already been studying Japanese for a little bit. I had been to Japan. I had Japanese friends. There was no way to leave my house in the States, in Chicago. It was super strict. I want to get out. I want to live life. I need to travel the world. I'm young. I got this money saved up. Dude, Japan it is. And I just because I was really worried about where I was going to go to. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you're always worried and nothing's getting done, dude, just put your foot down and just try something correct later. Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make the right decision on where I'm going to try to move abroad or what I'm going to do. You know what? Signs keep telling me Japan. I'm just going to send it. So basically, that's what I did. I sent it. And now that's the story of young James. That's what I'm doing here. This dude goes, Renji Hardaway. What up, Renji Hardaway? Says, staying a month in Tokyo in May. Do you think Japanese can distinguish between African Americans versus Africans? Why are you asking that? That's hilarious. I wonder why you're asking that. But honestly, dude, I don't think so. It depends how you're dressed. I think it depends how you're dressed. Depends on your style. If you're dressed like in a business suit or like you wearing button-up shirts and maybe slacks, then I think they definitely won't know, or they definitely will know that you're not like one of the Africans here, maybe working in kabukicho or something like that. But if you're dressed in like streetwear and maybe baggy pants and stuff like that, kind of dressed the same as the African guys do, dude, I don't think they're gonna know any difference, because Japanese people don't speak English. So like they can't, generally speaking, they don't speak English. They're not going to be able to tell the difference in the accent. They're not going to be able to tell by your actions the cultural differences. They don't interact with many Africans or African Americans. Z-Master says hi. What up? Hi, Z-Master. Z-Master. Hello, Z-Master. Alexander goes hi from Setagaya, Tokyo. Shout out to Setagaya. I love Setagaya-ku. When are you graduating? I'm graduating very soon, just a couple months, bro. This guy goes, Mike something says, the algorithm randomly suggested your channel like a week ago, and I've been watching all the vids. What up, Mike? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, dog. Thank you. This guy goes, you worked with Belmont? I saw them live in May. That's awesome, dude. Yes, I did work with Belmont. Those are my homies. Those are my day one homies from the Chicago scene. I hung out with them once again when they were in Japan last year for their Japan tour. Those are my day ones. James, did you feel the earthquake earlier? Dude, I did. I actually didn't feel it so much, but I heard it because my cups and plates were all rattling in my cabinets here. And I was like, what is that? And then I realized it was just an earthquake. Do you know when you plan to leave Japan? Like, how many years from now? Ideally, I would work here for like 3 years. This is the main reason I want to, like, I still feel like I haven't had a chance to like really explore Japan since I've been here, because I've been a student paying for language school tuition, paying for college tuition, and I really want to like travel Japan a lot and like see some more stuff, but I just don't have the money. So I'd like to work for a couple years, save up the money, and also like pay off some debt that I have, because Japan's standard of living, or not standard of living, price of living, cost of living, there you go, is very low. I have cheap rent here, so it'd be nice to kind of work here for a few years, get that stuff taken care of, do a little bit of traveling, and then eventually go back to the States for when I start a family. That's important as well. I don't really want to raise a family in Japan, but I wouldn't mind doing it in the States. Nice to catch a stream. What up? Nice to catch you, bro. Maladroit says, hey James, I'm a young guy in my early 20s, going to be living here for a few years. I had a Japanese girlfriend for a couple months, and it was a terrible experience. Any advice for getting back into it? Any advice for getting back into what? Getting back into like the dating game? Getting back into are you coming back to like to Japan? Is that what you mean? Or getting back like with your ex-girlfriend? I don't know what you're talking about. Hi from Fukuoka. Shout out to Fukuoka. Still haven't made it over there, but I plan to at some point. Thoughts on the Soapland? I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it is part of Japanese culture, and it's not really frowned upon in Japan. It's kind of just a normal part of life that a lot of people take part in. So I would not recommend it, because if you get stuck in it, it's like a drug, you know? You can get addicted, you can get caught in a really bad cycle, but a lot of people have fun doing it, and it seems, you know, for the most part to be just part of Japanese culture. So, yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. Are you taking a bachelor's or master's degree? Just a bachelor's, bro. I'm sorry I missed the rest of your comment. All these comments are creeping up on me fast. Yeah, a bachelor's degree. Do you fear for the future of the channel if you left Japan? No, not really. There will be different stuff on my mind when I go back to the States. I know that I have a lot of people watching, that are here for Japan, and of course, there will definitely be some changes when I go back to America, and changes in what I talk about, and I'm sure that everybody that watches my videos isn't necessarily going to watch my videos still if I'm just in the States talking about stuff in the US, but I've always got something interesting to yap about, so I'll build a new audience, new demographics of people following my channel. I'm not really that worried about it. Is university a good place to meet Japanese people and girls? Yeah, I would say so, sure. Are they more open to foreigners than the average Japanese person? People in university? Depends on your university, man. Not necessarily if it's just like a Japanese university. If it's a foreign university, international university, then yeah, of course. Wouldn't your Japanese girlfriend have to want to move to the States, though? Yeah, that would be correct. That would be correct. Are cults a thing in Japan? I hear things about Soka Gakkai. I've actually never heard of that. I don't know too much about it. Cults exist everywhere. Yeah, I think so. I meant advice for getting back into dating here in Japan. Ah, I see. Like any questions I should ask or behaviors I should look out for from Japanese girls. I mean, you shouldn't ask questions, because if you're asking questions like are you going to cheat on me, stuff like that, and you're just probing and you look insecure. Yeah, I mean, ask questions like valid questions. What was your childhood like? I mean, not on the first dates, but get into that a few dates in. Hey, what's your relationship like with your father? She doesn't have a good relationship with her father or either of her parents. Not a very, very good sign. Figure out what her relationship was like with her family. Figure out what her childhood was like. Figure out what kind of friends she hangs out with. Do her friends cheat? Do her friends go out partying, drinking a lot? What does she think? How many relationships has she been in? What was her last relationship like? Why did it end? What would her friends say about her? If you asked her, what do you think your friends would say about her? What kind of person would they say you are? Treat it like an interview. I mean, not sitting like not like a job interview, but, sprinkle these questions in here and there in a friendly, relaxed manner. Don't creep him out too much, I guess. This dude goes, hey, Jimmy, is it just me, or when you see foreigners in Japan, you automatically know what they're here for by the way they look? Not always, but definitely I would say there are some times where you see people where you're like, you're the dude that came here to teach you English. You're the military guy. That's pretty easy for sure. It's definitely more obvious once you meet a foreigner, because everybody knows the foreigner that you meet them and the first thing they say is they either mention their Japanese girlfriend or they ask you if you have a Japanese girlfriend. That's the most annoying foreigner for sure. Why don't you want to raise kids here? Many reasons. Many reasons I don't want to raise kids here. I mean, I guess I love Japan. Japan's great. I'm happy to be here, but the mindsets in Japan, the idea that you have to respect elders even if they don't respect you, or you have to respect the person above you, or just the idea that people are always above you and below you in society, a lot of times based on, not on merit, but on age, things they didn't earn. I don't agree with that, and that's an entire way of thinking that the culture really is really deeply ingrained in the culture here. Something like that. Yeah, just some other things. I mean, like the groping on the trains. It's pretty normal. I would say most girls have been groped at some point on the trains, or regularly get groped on the trains. And of course, if you go to the States, there are risks in the States as well. But think of it like this. In America, if you work really, really hard, you can avoid a lot. You can avoid almost all the problems in the States. They're really, really the lowest of lows in America, and they're the highest of highs in America. And I believe, I have the confidence with who I am, that I'll be able to get pretty high in America. In Japan, it's like, even the lowest of the low in Japan is still pretty nice. There's not too much change in Japan. You can completely slack off, work a minimum wage job, be pretty much a bum, and still live like a comfortable life, not have to worry about getting mugged, not live in a dangerous area, live a decent life in Japan. But there's still going to be issues, that at least issues for me, that I don't agree with, that there's pretty much no way of escaping. And I don't really want to raise a kid in around a lot of those issues. A lot of the bullying, also there's a lot of bullying, especially for foreign kids or hafu kids, half kids who are half Japanese and half foreign. I've witnessed it as well. I used to work at an international school, and I definitely witnessed that there. Have you ever heard of the travel vlog YouTuber Small Brained American? He has some great Japan videos. I think that's why your channel came on my feed. He speaks Japanese too, close to your age. I've seen some of his videos. He seems like a cool guy. I don't really watch like Japan content because I'm here in Japan. I don't really watch Japan vloggers or anything like that. But he seems like a cool guy. Yeah, for sure. Kimaru-san says, "Sup, bro? I've been learning Japanese for about 9 months now. I found that having an online tutor is way better than studying on your own. Of course it is if you have the money for it." He goes, "My output has been steadily climbing these last few months." That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. What a great feeling that is. And once you come to Japan and you actually try this with people, I think you will totally, like, try this with people living here. I think you'll totally even get more inspiration and be more motivated to learn the language. It's a great feeling. Here for the algorithm. What up, local onion seller? Thank you so much. Aaron goes, "Hey man, have you checked out other places around you? If anything, stop by southern China. Been here for 7 years and love it. Near Shanghai." Dude, I would love to, man. Like I said, if you just missed earlier, I just don't have any money, bro. Like I'm paying for my tuition. I'm a student. But once I get the money, I'm definitely planning to visit all these places around all around Asia and all around the world, really. What are some of your go-to Japanese incense sticks? Dude, I don't know, man. I know I have the classics, like the basic sandal one. The sandalwood. Oh my god, dude, I can't talk right now. The sandalwood one that you can get at Don Quixote. That's all that I know, really. That's creepy, the Japanese girlfriend thing. Yeah, dude, I agree. It's super weird. It's like, it's just a person. It's not like a Japanese person. It doesn't make them different. Especially for your wife or your girlfriend constantly being like, "Oh, well, she's Japanese. She's not just a girlfriend. She's a Japanese girlfriend." Super weird. You kind of look like a LeBron. Thank you, bro. I've been told that before. What's your experience with college in Japan? I hate school. That's my experience. Are you going to marry a Japanese woman in the future or just date them? I don't. Honestly, I do not. I have a girlfriend. And I do not plan to. I don't. Let me put it this way. I don't plan to ever date a Japanese woman again. If this is my last Japanese relationship or my last relationship, and my girlfriend is Japanese, that'll be the last one ever. Hopefully I do marry my current girlfriend. Of course, of course we have a great relationship, but let me say, with the headaches that I've experienced here, I would never do it again. Not because I love my girlfriend right now, but would not go through it again. It's just too many hurdles, too many issues. I'd rather go back to the States and find something, dude. But I am very happy now in my relationship. Rich people in Japan live on a different level. Yeah, it depends what you mean. I can't say that I agree, really. Hey, James, ever been to South America? I have not been to South America. Sounds fun, though. Have you ever caught yourself thinking or dreaming in Japanese? Yeah, I have. Definitely, all the time. Not super deep thoughts, but of course, I've had dreams in Japanese, and I think in Japanese relatively regularly. This dude goes, how do you plan to get rich in America? Dude, start my own business. I mean, just how I've done everything else in life. I've succeeded and excelled and climbed to the top at like everything I've done. So I have no doubt in my mind that once I enter the business world, I'm going to climb the ranks pretty quickly. Every job that I've ever worked, I immediately get promoted. Not immediately, but I get promoted pretty quickly. I become some type of leader. In school, I don't even try at all, and I have great grades and always tend to be like the leader in all of my group projects. Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be financially successful once I become a working man. Started the YouTube thing 2 years ago, didn't even put too much effort into it, and I'm doing really well. Hey, James, I think you mentioned you have some friends from the UK in Japan. I was wondering if you found that there's any cultural differences, misunderstandings they have that differs from US guys. Honestly, no. Like, actually, as much as I talk crap about the UK guys a lot, I actually think like most of them are pretty cool. I don't really see any serious issues. I actually like UK guys and how they like to like constantly like bully each other and insult each other. I love that. I love doing that. So, no, not really. I would say like for the outside of Germany, like Germans are different a little bit. They're very, very serious, and they don't understand a lot of maybe like American humor, and Americans don't, I guess, understand German humor. But outside of that, it seems like most like white guys kind of have like cultures that are similar enough to where we don't have huge misunderstandings. When is your bedtime and when do you normally wake up? Any day in the life kind of video? Yeah, man, my day in the life kind of videos are called Out the Mud. There's a vlog series on my channel. If you go to my channel, look at playlist and look for Out the Mud, it's basically day in the lives. And lately I've been up all the time, super late, editing videos, meeting people, trying to make connections in Japan. So my sleep schedule hasn't been perfect, but usually I'm up around like 8 or 9 these days. Definitely want to get back into waking up every day at like 6 a.m. But right now I have all these social obligations, going out, meeting people all the time. So what up? Hey, got a donation here. What up, Nevada? Thank you so much, bro. 28-year-old, 5'6", slim, athletic build, light skin, Spanish American. What are my dating chances in Japan? Staying for 3 weeks. Tokyo or Osaka better? Osaka's better. Tokyo people are way too difficult to understand, especially if you are just traveling here for a little bit. Tokyo people are puzzles, bro. Osaka, for sure. Your dating chances in Japan, you're not going to be able to find anything long-term, probably. Let's just be honest. If you want to date, target the Gaijin Hunters, go to the Hub, HUB. HUB, it's a place called the Hub. It's a British pub. It's where the people speak English there. The people that want to meet foreigners, want to practice their English, that's where they hang out. Go to the Hub, go to a foreigner-friendly club. You can find them on Reddit, be like English-speaking club, foreigner-friendly club, or whatever, Reddit, and you'll find some recommendations. If you're talking about like a really Japanese girl who doesn't speak much English, is very traditional or foreign or whatever, probably not going to get anything there. Yeah, stick to the Gaijin Hunters. You can definitely find some. Is your Japanese girlfriend on Instagram? Why you never show us your Japanese beauty? I would show her all the time. Heh heh. And you're getting blocked. Super weird. How do I block this dude? There we go. When's your birthday, broski? My birthday's coming up soon, dude. November 28th. You guys want to send me a donation? November 28th, y'all. 1 month away. Nothing good would come from him showing his girlfriend on Insta. Yeah, actually, there is a productive conversation to be had here, because I have had people ask me, why don't you like post your girlfriend on Instagram and stuff like that? This is exactly the reason why I don't. I recognize that my audience, although there are a bunch of really, really cool people in my audience, there are also a lot of creepy people. To be honest, a lot of people that are interested in Japan is just because they want to come out here and they, like I said, they want to search for the gaijin hunters, and they want to bust nuts thinking about Japanese women and stuff like that. And I have a baddie. I have a baddie in my hand. I'll say that. My girlfriend's beautiful. Why the hell, with the large following that I have, would I want to put her, even like if I'm not tagging her, out onto Instagram for people to see, to try to find her, to try to message her and flirt with her? Or maybe they don't like me, maybe they're trying to say bad things about me. Oh, he did this or he said that. Whether it's true or it's not true, just not drama that I need. And I recommend any dude, whether you have a large following on social media or not, that you kind of follow in my footsteps. Be protective of your girlfriend and don't put her out there for the world to see and maybe stalk her or attack her. Hey, brother, saw on the Discord that you are going live. Thank you, bro. Are you going to the One Championship event? Dude, is there a One Championship event? I didn't even know there was, but I would love to go to that. Yo, Nevada. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. He goes, thank you for the info, brother. Love the vids. Thank you, dog. Take care, man. Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate it for the early birthday wishes. It's sad how they base everything from a woman to just her race, SMH. Yeah, I would agree. And I've said this in a video before. I said, like, you guys need to stop the Japanese woman thing. She's a Japanese woman. That's why I need to date her. She's a Japanese woman. And people were like, he's a white knight. He's being very male feminist. He's trying to, it's not about protecting the women, dude. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to protect women. It's about you. If you come out here with this idealization of this image that Japanese women are perfect, that they're different just because they're Japanese, you're setting yourself up with these crazy expectations that aren't actually true, and you're putting these girls on this pedestal. You're going to hurt yourself. I'm trying to help you guys. Thanks for asking the questions. I got a lot. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you, dog. What up, Juan? This is my boy Juan right here, my boy from way back. He goes, did you see the Tom Aspinall fight? What were your thoughts on it? Yeah, man, I mean, my thoughts are, dude, actually, Cyril Gane looked really good, man. I was really, really impressed, and I need to see that fight, actually, the rematch, as soon as possible. Do you have any issue with the Japanese pushing against immigration? Does Japan benefit from being homogenous? I don't know, man. I'm not really an expert. I don't have any issues with it, though. I mean, Japan can do whatever they want. They're their own country. This is not my home. I'm a guest here. So Japan can do whatever. I don't really have any issues. And I know there are a lot of dumb foreigners here. Does Japan need immigrants? I don't know, man. It's too deep of a question. It's out of my realm of expertise. I'm not sure. But I don't think there's any issue with Japan wanting to protect its culture, wanting to keep immigrants out. Even if they told me to leave today, I wouldn't necessarily be happy about it, but I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, I follow the rules here. I speak Japanese. I do my best to respect the culture here. But if Japan told me, yo, you, young James, you need to get out of here. We don't want any immigrants here. I would be like, that sucks, but I respect that you guys are trying to take care of your people, because there are a lot of places in the world that don't try to take care of their people, so. This dude goes, it's the passport bros. Nowadays, a lot of women go to Japan. A lot of people go to Japan purely to find a Japanese woman, of course, and pretty much all of those people are let down. I feel like making relationships public is bound to destroy them. I don't know if it's bound to destroy them, but I definitely think if your plan is to have a long-term, successful, happy relationship or marriage, making it public definitely isn't in your best interest. Love the vids from CT US. CT, that's Connecticut, I'm assuming, right? God damn, I don't remember anything. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that, dog. Shout out to CT, bro. What's your opinion on yellow fever and the Oxford study? I don't know what the Oxford study is. I've heard it mentioned before. I don't know. Yellow fever, I don't know. That's like guys having a thing for Asian women. That's actually a great question. I would say that I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People have preferences, and I think that's totally cool. And also, I think you'd be lying to act like Asian women aren't generally, at least in this day and age, more feminine and more agreeable and just like take care of themselves, generally speaking, that more than the Western women. Western women are very feministy these days in 2025, very disagreeable, very feministy, and that's just not like men don't want problems in their life. They don't want a girl who's going to complain to them, or not complain to them, but like be bitching at them and telling them what to do and, you know, creating more problems. Men want an agreeable woman who's going to stick by his side and be very ladylike. And I mean, Western women in this age aren't the best at doing that. So I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. And like I said, like Asian women love white dudes as well. Not necessarily the Asian women who are living here in Asia still, but the ones that are abroad, they tend to love white dudes. It seems like. But a lot of guys come out here to Japan thinking like, yeah, dude, you know, I went to Thailand, or even back in the States, there are like a lot of Asian girls that like white guys. It's not really the same in Japan. It's pretty different here, actually. People in Japan want to date within their own race. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard the same thing about like Thailand and China as well. I haven't actually lived in either of those places or really visited, but I've heard the same thing from people who live there. They're like, yeah, people always say that, but those are just the dumb guys who don't really understand the culture, and they just like visit here one time, meet some girls at a foreigner-friendly bar who try to flirt with them, and then they leave home, or they leave and they go back home and they say, oh, the girls love me there, the girls love me there. No, that was just some gaijin hunters who were in the foreigner-friendly bar who wanted to try out a little fling, something exotic for the weekend. Like the average girl here wants to date within their race. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just something I've heard. This dude goes, hey man, big fan from Israel. Yo, shout out. What up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. We got people all over the world supporting. Thank you, dog. What qualifies you to give advice, white boy? I mean, nothing, I guess. I'm just talking. You guys don't have to take my advice if you don't like it. Just, if you don't like my advice, don't take it, and then we'll see how your life ends up. And if it ends up better than mine, then I guess you'll be laughing, and that'll be my problem. You don't have to take my advice. Let's get a lift in, boss. Let's get a lift in. Of course, I'm always down for a lift. So it goes, how's the weather in Tokyo around March? Love you, James. It's pretty nice. It's still pretty cold in March. It doesn't get warm till a little bit later in Tokyo, but it's not bad. Lucas goes, young James the GOAT. What up? Lucas the GOAT. Thank you for watching, dog. Guys, got to roll out of here in just a few minutes. I'm going to respond to 3 more messages, though. 3 more messages. I got to get going to bed, guys. It's late. It's already past midnight here. It's Monday now. This dude goes, when I went to Japan solo and went to clubs and bars, I mostly got ignored or Instagrammed just to unfollow me the next day. Yeah, definitely. That was the first time I came to Japan, and also when I first got to Japan, too. Got ghosted a lot, for sure. Apps also weren't a thing. It was hard on my ego. Yeah, definitely. But that's the ego check that you need, maybe, to change something, to make improvements. Not always a bad thing to get rejected. Well, usually not a bad thing to get rejected. How do Japanese people eat so much rice but never get fat? Are they just more active? Dude, that's so true. Japanese people eat so much rice and so many noodles. Like if you go to a place where you're eating like donburi, which is like a bowl of rice with something on top, or if you're going to get ramen, they can do like omori, which means like large size, or like tokudai, which is extra large size, and Japanese men always get that, and I can't even finish that. It's crazy. And there'd be small Japanese men slamming this rice or slamming these noodles, and they don't seem to get fat. I think they're just more active because they walk everywhere in Japan. And also, I don't think they don't snack. In America, we snack all the time. We're always munching on snacks and crap like that. I've noticed that people don't snack so much here. All right, guys, last comment I'm responding to. Try to find someone here. It goes, what was up with those Grindr comments from a bit ago? Airsoft Online Shorts says, I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know where it came from, but someone in my Discord messaged me, and they asked me the same thing, like, what's up with these Grindr comments? And I didn't know what they were talking about, so then I, like, found it, like, on a video. Someone, like, directed me to it, and people were saying, like, this is the guy from Grindr, this is the guy from Grindr, and I was like, I don't know. I'm confused too. I don't know if it's like I look like someone that somebody knew, or maybe I made a joke about Grindr. I can't even remember. I don't know what they came from. But I don't know. Funny, I guess. Whatever. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna roll out. It's after midnight, but thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I tried to respond to as many questions as possible. Thank you, guys. Take care. This is Young James. Everyone have a wonderful week. Love y'all. All right, peace out, guys. Good night.